Twin flame separation is almost always bound to happen. And the reason for this is because this is just a human journey after all. Because to incarnate as humans is to step into forgetting. Before coming here, you and your twin flame existed in your fullness as multidimensional beings who remembered everything. You knew your wholeness and your power and your unity. But when you chose to come to Earth, you also chose to forget. You chose amnesia. You chose to experience limitation, ego, fear, and illusion because that is what makes this realm the ultimate training ground for soul growth. If you stayed in the same place forever, you wouldn't ever grow. However, you and your twin flame have been in many lifetimes together, and the earthly realm is different in the ways where you don't remember any of your past experiences. But the truth is, you can remember. Maybe not its fullness, but you can definitely live that experience again. You see it in your dreams. You feel it with the magic and the energy swirling all around you when you and your twin flame are together. When you meet your twin flame, your amnesia cracks open. You remember their soul beyond lifetimes. You remember their light. You see the truth of who they are and your whole journey together. You don't just see the personality, but you see the wounds and the eternal self and their fullest potential. And they see the same in you. That moment of recognition is often the first real spiritual awakening for many people. And even if you have already been spiritually aware before, meeting your twin flame often triggers you to awaken in ways that you would have never thought you could awaken. It is unlike anything you have ever experienced in terms of your relationships and connections to others. You feel seen and understood on the deepest level, and you know no one could ever understand you in this way. Not even yourself sometimes, because you guys help each other to awaken. And your soul feels called home. The thing is, this awakening can also sometimes feel terrifying because if you have been used to living asleep or unconscious in the human world since a very young age, suddenly being confronted with this raw, undeniable energy of truth can destabilize everything, especially because your twin flame encourages growth for your life, and with growth you need to do self-development work, and maybe before you weren't doing that, but your whole life changes after you meet your twin flame. You feel drawn towards doing shadow work, actually doing things, and by the end of your day saying, I am so proud of the day that I have lived today because I feel like I wasted no time. But sometimes some people are not yet ready for this level of awakening. Some people still have a lot of subconscious beliefs to let go of and really begin following the voice of their true selves, their intuition, realizing that their intuition is guiding them, because if they just push it away, they end up also pushing you away. When meeting their twin flame, some people begin questioning everything: their life, their relationships, their choices, and even their identity. For example, the job that they have right now and where they really want to go with their lives. The intensity of this connection can feel like it's pulling you into another dimension, even another dimension of consciousness, and yet your human mind and your physical reality are still very present in your life. You can't erase them, so this creates this friction, and the pull of the physical world, those responsibilities, those fears that you may have, the past conditioning, and even societal pressures, even from your family, sometimes can feel stronger than your soul's yearning. But you know who you are and what you want. But your human self sometimes resists. And this is where separation often begins. Even after recognition, both of you are still human. There may be certain pulls from the physical world, certain responsibilities that are drawing your twin flame into a different kind of life. And they may not even know where to begin when it comes to breaking free. And you are still living within the veil of forgetfulness too. And so, no matter how powerful that connection feels, there will come moments where the human self pulls away. Fear replaces trust, ego overshadows the soul, and wounds and conditioning can feel louder than the soul because, after all, everything is right there in front of you in the physical world. For this connection, you have to go deeper. And I also want you to know all of this, when it happens, it is not because your connection is broken or has flaws. It is because you are not your full, multidimensional, most authentic self here yet. You too are living the human experience, and humans are bound to make mistakes. Everyone has made a mistake in their life, but everyone has also learned from mistakes in their life and then created a better reality for themselves from that learning. And this is where forgiveness comes in, because forgiveness is a multidimensional quality. It is a soul quality, because to forgive is to step beyond the illusion of the human self and into the remembrance of the eternal. It is such a powerful thing to do because a lot of people often feel a lot of resistance when it comes to forgiveness. But it would sound something like this. You look at your twin flame and you are able to say to them, I know you would not abandon me if you remembered who you truly are. I know that you would not hurt me if you were fully awake in your own light. I know that what you are doing now is not a reflection of your soul, but of the noise and the conditioning and of the forgetting that comes with being a human. I understand the human journey, and I understand that this also happens to me. And I choose to see you as your highest self, even when you cannot live as that right now. Because even when I wasn't my highest self, you were still believing in me. And I can forgive you through the eyes of the soul, not just through the eyes of the human. Separation asks us to release that blame and judgment, human qualities, and to understand that its purpose is not as punishment but refinement. It is that friction that polishes both souls because it forces you to return to your own wholeness and to anchor into your own divinity, to love without clinging, and to forgive without condition. And the even deeper truth is that the love is never gone. It is simply hidden beneath layers of human forgetting. Separation is not the end, it is a doorway. Your task is not to erase the separation, but to hold the flame of remembrance until both of you are ready to see clearly again. Separation is the universe asking you, can you love beyond illusion? Can you forgive beyond ego? And can you remember the eternal even when the temporary feels stronger? And when you can unlock that essence, that true essence of the twin flame path, not just the reunion, but the ascension, and can you understand that even in separation, both of you are learning, both of you are evolving. It's not just benefiting one person. It may not even seem like it is benefiting you right now, but you know, in the moment, it never seems that way. And then afterwards, you have become your new self. You have become that step closer to fully embodying the highest version of you. I understand it can also sometimes be really difficult with the runner and chaser dynamic. This can be one of the most challenging aspects of separation. The runner, having forgotten more deeply, is confronted by the intensity of the connection. Being seen so fully feels overwhelming, exposing, even unsafe, or many other reasons. It could be so much external noise going on all around them that it just pulls them in. You know, they go unconscious, they tap out, and you're over there feeling really conscious and aware and wondering, what is going on? Where is my person gone? And the chaser, holding higher remembrance, is longing for this union. Yet, even in this dynamic, it is a sacred polarity. It is not punishment yet again, because both of these roles teach. The runner learns to confront their shadows and rediscover their own wholeness, and the chaser learns surrender, patience, and self discovery. And eventually, both roles become redundant because the lesson is internalized. Remember, you are not always waiting for them to change and for them to remember. Sometimes this is a lesson for you. And when you both surrender and stop resisting it, reunion happens not as a reattachment, but as a meeting of equals, standing in shared divinity. I just want you to remember, your twin flame remembers you always, but their human self may sometimes forget. And that is the nature of this earthly journey. We are all at different points of awakening, learning, and growth. You came here for a profound soul evolution, and part of that path is moving through challenges, heartaches, and moments of uncertainty. These experiences are not obstacles, but sacred catalysts. The very crucible that refines your soul, awakens your love, and prepares you for the union that exists beyond time and human perception. Because time is just an illusion and everything is happening all at once. But that is for another video. But I just want you to remember, the pain is sometimes necessary for that soul growth. If you stayed in the exact same point forever, you wouldn't learn, you wouldn't grow, you wouldn't have this newly found level of understanding, you wouldn't expand, and you wouldn't be exposed to the contrasts of life to really truthfully understand what enlightenment really is. Because if you were just in the same one point, you'd start to take it for granted. You need to expand yourself out in so many different directions and gain new levels of perceptions and understanding. And this is what the human journey is all about. You signed up for this, but you knew that everything was going to be okay after this. And I know some people say in another life, and that is exactly what they mean, because sometimes the human experience can really take a toll on you, but you're not going to be human forever. Just remember that. And it doesn't have to be in another life. You can still experience your multidimensional self in this human life. You can still connect to your intuition. I'm sure you have had points where you felt more connected and then sometimes less connected, but this is always available to you. I know you may both be swayed in different directions, but as more time goes on, growth is always happening. Remember, you're not staying stagnant forever. You are always moving.